Hey y'all. So today is the first solo episode of 2023. I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about the power of positive self-talk to counteract the negative messages of our inner critic, the one that keeps bugging us every single time and disempowering us as well. So today is just a little reminder. It's something that I've talked about several times here and there in different episodes, but I felt like it was important to just focus on that thing to remind ourselves because it's something that I've struggled with my whole life. But especially lately, I have struggled giving myself grace and kind of letting my own fears and limitations take precedent and take over myself, my true self, my true authentic self, and what I'm capable of. So, this last week, that's literally what I've been pushing myself to keep on feeding myself with positive self-talk in order to counteract this nagging voice that sometimes is way too loud, but little by little managing to tune it down much more every single day and finally be able to lean much more into that true side of myself and be like, you know what? You're actually capable. You're actually strong, so on and so forth. And being able to achieve my goals because just like every human, we have our moments. We have moments that we are on the top of our game and other moments where we doubt ourselves, that we fall into mistrusting ourselves because of self-limiting beliefs. So it's just a reminder to always trust yourself and to believe in yourself and to uplift yourself every single time. And no matter how hard it gets, to keep your head high up and to keep on going and marching even toward your goal. If you want to let go of past pain, transcend your traumas, expand your consciousness, and reclaim your power to finally be the main character of your own conscious reality, as well as learning about conscious living, you're at the right place. Welcome to Conscious Matters. It's a safe space where we chat about conscious matters, focus on self-empowerment, awareness, holistic wellness, and sustainability. Join me, Melissa DiBieri, for inspiring conversations with myself and some of the most beautiful souls out there. We expand on our experiences and share what we've learned along our healing journey to live in peace, harmony, and mindfulness on a daily basis. Oh, and share with loved ones, and don't forget to take 5 little seconds to review this podcast by just leaving a few stars and kind words. That would really help with the algorithm so we can spread the message to help more people live consciously. Get your mind, body, and soul ready for a ride in consciousness. Namaste, listeners. Even though throughout the years I managed so well my mind and how I sort out my thoughts, how I choose which thoughts are worth giving time and energy and letting go of the rest, I can say that this past week or 10 days were a full backtrack, I would say, in my old ways of letting the negative thoughts taking over. So I'm very happy to talk about positive self-talk today, and because I've been in the trenches of it lately. And my inner critic got much louder lately because I've been working hard, very, very hard on something that now that the self-doubt has passed, I'm very happy to announce to you guys that now Conscious Matters is a full-on educational portal for all things wellness, mindset, mindfulness that you can find at www.consciousmatters.co, co for collective, for conscious community, which I hope you will be part of. So consciousmatters.co. So a mindfulness platform that aims to help us overcome the struggle of dealing with our inner critic, the one that is at the root cause of negative self-talk, of negative thinking, leading us to self-doubt, self-sabotage, perfectionism, people-pleasing, and hopelessness, among other disempowering behaviors and state of mind. So I'm actually so proud and so happy of this platform where you will find a wealth of wellness resources, tips, and tools to build and support your growth mindset as you move through your life authentically and fully, thus helping you to finally choose your well-being despite what your inner saboteur says and how much he wants to drag you down. So these resources will assist you along your journey toward reclaiming your power, rebuilding your self-confidence, and having agency over your life. It will be so many things in it. Like right now is the podcast, is the videos and the blog. Now we have a blog as well as a weekly newsletter. So don't forget to sign up to the weekly newsletter so you're up to date with everything, and also having a direct contact with me where I will also share, once again, everything related to wellness, mindfulness, and mindset. I also have a free 5-day self-love challenge on there, so you can sign up to that as well. So you can build on your self-love because we all need that. This platform hopefully will keep on expanding more and more with time, but please bear with me. I'm just one person, but I will do my best to keep on providing quality and consistent content on there. And even before checking it out, if you can leave a review on whatever podcast platform you're listening this episode on, because it really, really helps. Like you have no idea how much it helps with the algorithm, how much it helps with the guests that I'm able to bring on this podcast, and so many other things. So please leave a review. If you benefited even just a little bit, I would love to hear a few words from you. Even though it's a very short review, it really helps. So thank you in advance. Been working on launching a whole platform for Conscious Matters and everything that entails. That is the kind of project that fully activates your inner critic because you wonder if you're doing it right, how it's going to be received. Is it even worth it? Asking yourself crazy questions that you usually don't ask yourself that, but I guess when you putting yourself out there like that and you sharing things that are very close to your heart, it's not that easy. It's not that easy internally even to take the leap of faith. But like everything, it's just a moment and everything passes. And taking all of the hurdles, all of the obstacles as lessons in order to grow even stronger and to be able to be fully grounded within yourself, to be so strong within yourself that is very hard for external elements or even your own negative habits to sway you one way or the other. And that's exactly why I want to talk about the power of positive self-talk and how we can use it to counteract the negative messages of our inner critic, just like I said at the beginning. So listen up to this gem. I'm pretty sure, just like me, you have found yourself at some point in your life, or maybe currently, getting caught up in negative self-talk. Maybe you thought to yourself, I cannot do this. What's the point of even trying? Or I'm not good enough. It's so easy to fall into this trap. You probably know that already, but what if I told you that the way you talk to yourself can have a profound impact on your confidence, your motivation, and your overall success? Let's start by understanding or trying to understand what the inner critic is. The way that I define it or the way that I see it is the voice in our head that tells us that we are not good enough, we're not smart enough, we're not talented enough, we're not anything enough. It's that nagging voice that makes us doubt ourselves and our abilities, the one that makes us feel less than. And the problem with that voice is that it can become so loud and persistent that we start to believe it. We start to subscribe to the narrative it's fitting us with. Even though it's a false narrative, we start to believe it and we start behaving or acting accordingly. But what if we could train ourselves to silence the inner critic, to make it shush once and for all, and replace those negative messages with positive ones? And one way to do it that is truly transformative is positive self-talk. Positive self-talk has so many benefits, such as boosting confidence and self-esteem. When we constantly tell ourselves negative messages, we start to believe them, just like I was saying before, which can lead to feelings of inadequacy and low self-worth. But on the flip side, which is pretty amazing, is when we use positive self-talk, we're reminding ourselves of our strength and abilities, which can help to build our confidence. When we see what is shining inside of us, what we are capable of, we get stronger, but stronger from the inside. For example, let's say that you're preparing for a job interview. We've all done that. A job interview, an internship interview. If you're constantly telling yourself things like, I'm not good enough for this job. Or when the stress gets in and we're getting anxious and thinking, I'll never get it, which eventually you end up manifesting it because your confidence will likely take a hit. Because the way that we work as humans is that our behavior follows our thoughts, obviously. So when we think like that, I'm not good enough for this job or I will never get this job. Obviously, during the interview, this is the kind of behavior you will show to the employer or HR or whoever is interviewing you. However, if you replace these negative messages with positive self-talk instead, such as, actually, I'm qualified for this job, and that's why they called me for this interview, and I have valuable experience to offer. Let me show that to them. Let me show that to myself, even. Having this self-validating attitude. When you have that, when you carry that, when you embody this strength within yourself, you are more likely to feel confident and perform better in that said interview. And I guess it's also a matter of catching yourself when you're starting to think like that, because negative self-talk is such an automatism that we have been carried out for years and years and years, if not decades and decades. They become second nature. And what is amazing with positive self-talk is that it's kind of a training. It's something that you have to get used to, something that you need to implement in your daily life. And every time that you hear a negative thought pop out, to be able to immediately counter it with a positive one, but really like catching yourself and being honest with yourself all through the process of life, I would even say. And positive self-talk has another huge benefit, which is staying motivated and focused on your goals. When we encounter obstacles or setbacks, it's so easy to give up or lose sight of our goals or even lose faith in ourselves. But if we use self-talk to remind ourselves of why we're working toward that goal or those goals, if there are multiple goals that you're working toward, and how we can overcome these challenges, we are more likely to stay motivated and keep pushing forward. It's in that state, that mental state, that we're able to never give up on ourselves. Because there's this thing that we do most often, usually stemming from childhood, once again, that is self-abandonment. Depending on how you were raised, the experiences you went through as a kid, you can have this habit of self-abandoning yourself when things start to get tough, or when you feel like you are less than other people. You are less than deserving of the things you want to achieve or you want to have in your life. So, for example, super generic example, but let's go let's go with it. Let's say you're trying to lose weight and get in shape. If you have a setback, like, having a cheat day or indulging in unhealthy food or missing a workout, it's easy to feel discouraged and give up. However, with that new positive mindset, if you use positive self-talk to remind you of why you're working toward your health goal and how you can get back on track, you're more likely to stay motivated and keep on making progress. Not beating yourself up because you had this one slip up, because it happens to the best of us. Instead of punishing yourself and giving up on your goal of bettering your health to live an easier life, a lighter life, even to feel great in your body, to feel strong in your body, to feel that your body is working for you and not against you. Instead of that punishment, giving yourself grace and remind yourself that I'm human. I'm not going to have it perfect every single time. Sometimes I will fail. Sometimes I will fall back into my old ways, but I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. I know how much is going to serve me better in this life. So I'm going to keep on pushing. I'm capable. I felt this one day, but 2 days another day. Keeping that optimism up so you don't get dragged into your own rabbit hole and getting into a rut that is so hard to get out of. So now that we know the benefits of positive self-talk, how do we actually use it? I mean, I gave a few examples, like a few generic examples, but let's try to work it in steps. So the way that I see it is in 3 easy steps. I mean, easy steps. It's easy to identify the steps. It's not easy to implement the steps. but you know what I'm saying. So the first step is noticing the negative self-talk. It's becoming aware of what's going on in your head. So pay careful attention to the messages you're sending yourself and notice when they're negative or self-defeating. Pretty much every time that you're not choosing yourself, every time that you are beating yourself up, every time that you are your own enemy. As I was saying before, it became such an automatism that sometimes we don't even notice it. But if we are practicing more mindfulness, as I often advocate for mindfulness, when we are more into the moment, when we are digging deeper into our own mind, our own emotions, and being much more self-aware, that's when we're able to notice what we're doing and when we're doing things that are not serving our highest good, that are fully disempowering, that doesn't allow us to have that much agency in our life anymore. So taking that time to notice through journaling, through meditation, through being in the moment, trying to be fully present in the moment, and little by little developing this self-awareness will allow us to notice our negative self-talk. And the second step is, now that you've noticed it, challenge your negative thoughts. Once you've noticed your negative self-talk, challenge the thoughts with positive statements. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, I'm not good enough, challenge that with a thought like, I am good enough and I have valuable skills and experience to offer. In that moment, I probably did not give my 100% best, but I'm still good enough no matter what. My worth is not defined by my accomplishments, by my doing when I'm a human being. So honestly, at first, it sounds super weird. It sounds very strange. It's uncomfortable. It's unnatural as well. But little by little, feeding yourself with more positive and empowering and uplifting statements, you start to replace the negative ones. And the most important thing is that you start like not believing anymore in the negative thoughts. Maybe the positive ones are not fully ingrained yet, but slowly you are unconditioning the negative thoughts that were in your mind for so long about yourself. The false narrative, the false idea that you had about certain aspects of yourself. And another way to use positive self-talk, and I would say the third step, which is an extension of the second one, to be honest, is to repeat positive affirmations to yourself regularly. And when I say regularly, is every single day. The power of affirmations, of positive affirmation, is real. Affirmations are another powerful tool for positive self-talk. They are short positive statements that we repeat to ourselves to reinforce positive beliefs. These are simple statements that affirm positive qualities or characteristics about yourself. So, for example, you might repeat statements like, I'm strong, I'm capable, I'm enough, I'm lovable, I'm worthy, I can handle anything, I'm worthy of love and respect. Every time that you feel less than, remind yourself that you are more than that with a positive affirmation. What I found incredible is to be able to write your own positive statements, your own positive affirmations. There are so many online, but I found that when you know your own weaknesses and you're able to counteract that with your own words, it's so much more efficient. It's so much more efficient because it feels less like a lie that you're trying to convince yourself with and more like your own essence, your own words, your own hope also that you try to instill within yourself. So you can write your own, but you can also go online. On YouTube, you have so many positive affirmations videos. And another way to do it is to listen to high vibe music where the lyrics are super empowering and positive. That also works. By repeating these affirmations, we can start to rewire our brain to think more positively about ourselves. We start to create new neural pathways in our brain to be able to shift our reality from a negative to a positive, from transmuting that hurt and that darkness into something lighter that carries us forward. Actually, I made a YouTube video about how to mindfully overcome your self-limiting beliefs to reach your full potential. And I go more extensively on positive affirmations and how to use it. So if you want to check that video out, it's on YouTube. The name of the channel is Conscious Matters in 2 words. And you will also find like many other videos about negative thinking, inner critic, negative habits, so on and so forth. So let's go back to the steps. So by following these steps, noticing negative self-talk, challenging negative thoughts, and repeating positive affirmations, and by incorporating this positive self-talk into your daily routine, you can start to counteract the negative messages of your inner critic and feel more reassured and motivated to tackle your goals, to feel empowered, to feel like you actually have agency in your life. You can become your own best friend instead of your own enemy. You can stop limiting your own self. And as always, with everything, go step by step. There's no need to rush. The most important is not the speed, but to make sure you have enough consistency that you carry out this habit for the rest of your life. It's not to going from 0 to 100 right now and then ditching that empowering new habit that you built for yourself. So let's take a look at other examples of positive self-talk in action. We talked about interviews. So let's say you have a big presentation coming up at work because you finally got that job from that interview, but you're feeling nervous, which is normal. Instead of telling yourself, I'm going to mess this up, they shouldn't have hired me, or what if I cannot handle this? Try to say things that will, first of all, reassure yourself so your cortisol level gets down. That helps you feel less stress. And then something encouraging. So the calming you down will sound like, I've prepared for this presentation and I know my material. And the encouraging part will be, I can do this. So I've prepared for this presentation and I know my material. I can do this. Or maybe trying to make a lifestyle change, like quitting sodas, quitting junk food as a general rule in this moment in your life, because you're trying to be healthier, to have more energy to tackle whatever you need to tackle during the day. So instead of saying, I'll never be able to quit, like I'm too addicted to my sugar rush, try saying, I'm taking steps every single day to improve my health, and I'm very proud of myself for making progress. Even though it's a slow progress, I'm still making progress. All in all, the way that we talk to ourselves has a profound impact on our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. And I would even add behaviors. By learning to replace negative self-talk with a positive one, we can boost our confidence, our motivation, and our overall well-being. It's always easier said than done. It's not always easy. It's never easy to silence our inner critic, but with patience, with persistence, with believing in ourselves, we can learn to be our own biggest cheerleaders. So the next time you find yourself getting caught up in negative self-talk, the next time that you beating yourself up because you didn't manage to do something that you said that you would do, or fulfilling just an expectation that you have of yourself, remember that you have the power to choose how you sort out your thoughts and change your mindset. Remember that you got this. So sign up to the mailing list to fully stack up on your self-empowerment tools, because we have one life, so we better get control of it as much as we can, knowing that we never have full control, but controlling our part, being able to exercise full agency over our lives. You know who made it. Thank you to have taken the time to listen to me talking about conscious living. Conscious Matters is a self-produced podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please share, leave a review, and or donate. Your support will help to keep on raising the collective consciousness together. Take care and talk to you soon.